Hello friends, how you doing today? We're gonna do a question and answer section. Let's have some fun. Alright, so why am I doing this? Because, well, basically a lot of new subscribers usually are kind of curious about me or maybe my life, or sometimes I need to answer some common questions that get asked quite often, and I don't want to answer them 700 times over and over again in the comments. And I feel kind of bad just leaving people's questions blank, try and answer them the best of my ability. Sometimes people help out as well, but I just feel a little bit bad. So that's why I do these every once in a while, and hopefully you guys will find them interesting. If you've seen a lot of these before, maybe you aren't quite as interested. Question number one is, can I play with you? Can you play with me? Well, kind of. You can play in a live stream, which I do have live streams every once in a while, maybe every other week or so. I seem to average about, about that, maybe twice a month. Sometimes a little bit less often than that. Sometimes more often. I've actually done a couple where I've actually done 2 or 3 in a week, and I make it random, so the chances of you actually playing me in a game are just a little bit low, just because I do have 40,000 subscribers, and of course I can't play it with every single one of them. But I do my best to try and keep it interactive and have some fun with you guys as well. Why don't I play defend mode very often? This question gets asked quite often. It's actually pretty simple. I just don't really like defend mode. I like to do things that I like to do, and I like assault mode. I like Balloon Buggy City. I like playing BTD5 and stuff like that. I just don't really like defend mode. I find it kind of boring and unexciting. And unless I go back and speed up the video several times, it's just not my thing. It's for some people, yeah, for sure. If you like a slower paced game where you get to think things out a little bit better, hey, maybe that's your best bet. But I like fast reaction time things. I like to do things better, faster than other people. Next question. Do you have a girlfriend? Yes, absolutely. If you don't know, I have a girlfriend named Amanda. She's awesome, and I have made videos with her in the past. Sometimes she makes videos with me, but not that often. And I really would hope that she makes some in the future with me, especially because she's going to be going away somewhere kind of far away from me for a couple months, which means we might have to Skype and do things together. Maybe that'll be fun. Maybe we can play some co-op online or something like that and just have some fun around there. Commonly asked question for sure is recording software. What the heck do you use, Chris? Well, I use 3 different things. Mainly for recording, I use Debut Video Capture. That's like my go-to thing for just recording any section of the screen anywhere. It records in reasonably high quality. Not perfect, but reasonably high quality. And overall, I don't have too many problems with it. I also can record my face cam with it, so that's what I'm doing right here. I'm recording my actual video with this. And then I also use Fraps. I use Fraps more for BTD5 and or more along the lines of things I use on Super John Bombo 3, my other channel where I play League of Legends and Zelda and all that good, and Pokemon and stuff like that. And then I also use Camtasia every once in a while. Usually I use Camtasia when debut video capture doesn't work, or when I want to do overlays of the video on top of my face cam, and then Camtasia is good for that. So yeah, I pretty much just have a multitude of things that I use. Each have their specific purpose. If you guys are at all interested, I just recommend Debut Video Capture. It's free as well. Fraps will cost you just a little bit. I think it's like $30 to buy. Really not that bad. But you really can't use it on BTD battles and other things like that. So if you're at all interested in starting a YouTube channel, it's tough. I must say it's tough to start one. It's not just going to be an instantaneous billion of views or anything like that. And then also I get asked a lot, what do you use to save your videos or render them or anything like that? Well, I use Vegas Pro most often whenever I want to edit anything. If I ever want to edit anything, more than just splitting and kind of doing anything like that, speeding things up and stuff like that, I usually use Vegas Pro or Sony Vegas. Some people call it Sony Vegas. And then also I use Windows Movie Maker when I basically just plop down the audio, plop down the video, boom, there it is, render done. It's usually what I do is Windows Movie Maker, just because Windows Movie Maker is like 3 times as fast and does the exact same quality as Vegas Pro. It's just Vegas Pro has so many more options and things that you can do, and oh god, yes, I like options, especially if you get pretty good with them, which I'm getting a little bit better with them. I'm actually planning on trying to use Adobe Premiere sometime soon, just because of the even more options than Vegas Pro. So I might be interested in doing something with that, but I have to see how much it costs and stuff, because I heard it's very expensive. So we're gonna have to check that out. Oh, also, if I record mobile, oh, this is an important one. I use actually about a $200 setup. I've answered this a couple times before, and I also leave it in the description of all my mobile videos. But people still ask the question, how do you record? There's other ways to do it other than the way I do it. You know, there's apps and things like that that people tend to use more often than the way I do it. But the way I do it, I can record in high definition pretty much for an infinite amount of time, you know, several hours in a row without any lag, without any problems, and it works fantastic for me. But I use, and it's called a Game Capture HD, and then I also have I believe it's a Lightning, no, not Lightning. I think it's a 30 pin to HDMI adapter, which you can buy from Apple, and you connect that, and then you connect that to the Elgato, then you connect the Elgato thing to the USB, boom, done. It's a little bit of a setup, but it works fantastic. What the F is a Schnarf? You know, a lot of people are like, Chris, you know, you say Schnarf a lot. What? What the heck's a Schnarf? And why? Did you make it up? Kind of. Not really. I guess a little bit. It's what is it? It's basically like this cat dragon looking thing from this show from the 90s. I believe the show was called Thundercats. I didn't really watch it very often. It wasn't like my favorite show or anything like that. It was kind of a weird one. It was kind of like He-Man, but it was cats, human cats, kind of. I think there was a team of them, and they were like a family, I think. Whatever. It was a weird show. It was kind of interesting. I remember it. And there was this like cat dragon thing, and his name was Schnarf, and he was always just like the lovable, fluffy character that always messed things up. That was Schnarf. So, and why do I call you guys Schnarfs? Like that doesn't really make any sense. Like you're just a character from the '90s. Why would you do that? I honestly I think it's a fun word. Easy as that. Anyways, oh man, we're already 7 minutes into this video. Whoa, 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 man. Another one. Why don't you upgrade your spike factory? I get this so often, it's actually kind of ridiculous. Oh my goodness. I almost always just get 0 spike factories. I almost never get upgraded spike factories. And honestly, the only spike factory I can think that I would want to get is either a 0 spike factory, of course, my favorite, a 1 spike factory, or a 4 spike factory. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan of any of the other ones. I mean, sometimes randomly I can use the other ones just to have some fun with them. Realistically, I don't think they're very good at all. Especially in like Bloons Monkey City and stuff. BTD Battles, it's a little bit of a different story, but it's pretty much the same thing. And BTD 5, pretty much the same thing. I really wouldn't use anything else besides probably a 0 spike factory. But there is a reason behind it. There's not really just a randomness to it. There's a method to my madness. Realistically, I think that when I use a spike factory, it's just kind of cleanup. All you really need is that extra 100 balloons to pop, the last few balloons that are trying to sneak on through. And I think that if you try to upgrade it, it's like $800 to upgrade one of those guys, maybe $700 or something like that. Whereas you can funnel that $700 into some actual popping power instead of some cleanup that really doesn't do quite as good for popping power. If you funnel that into other popping power, you're going to do better off defending things than trying to rely on stuff in the very, very back. And you don't really want to be defending in the very back there. You won't know when to use road spikes and things like that. You want to get all the popping power more towards the middle or the front. And that's basically the way I roll around with it. You can spend $700 on some boomerangs and get way, way, way more popping power than you can by spending $700 on a spike factory. Or if you keep adding that together, overall, you're much better off getting more popping power than getting the spike factory. And yeah, I mean that's more of a personal preference than anything. So please just stop asking. And if anybody does ask, don't yell at him and tell him that he's stupid and shut up, and just let him know very happily. Just be like, it's because he doesn't like him. It's as easy as that, or just because he whatever. Just help me out here a little bit. You know, if there's any questions that you guys know the answers to, a lot of people have been really helping me out, which I really do appreciate. And if we continue that would be awesome. What do you do for fun? Oh man, so you probably know that I work a full-time job, and then pretty much almost all the residual time that I have left over, usually making videos. So my life does get a little hectic. Oh boy, does it get hectic. In fact, right now I'm up till like 12:20 at night, and all of a sudden I'm going to go to bed, and then I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to leave and pretty much have no time to do anything in between. It's pretty much the way I roll. But what do I do for fun, actually? I mean, I play sports video games other than BTD. I don't record every single game I play. I play some Call of Duty. I play a lot of strategy games and things like that. For example, I play StarCraft, Age of Empires, League of Legends. I guess you can call that a strategy game, and some other ones too. Like I said, Call of Duty. I think Black Ops 2 is probably my favorite one to play. Some people like the Call of Duties. I heard Ghosts was kind of a bad one, the new one. I heard most people didn't like it. Of course, almost all the Call of Duties are decent. It's just more of your preference. What do you like to play? How do you like to play with it? There's not really a bad Call of Duty. It's just some of them are more favorited than others. And we're getting pretty darn close to the end here. But also, yeah, I do play sports. I used to run cross country and track. That was like my best thing. I was really really good at pretty much everything. I could run a mile, and like my best was in like 8th grade, was like 5 minutes and 25 seconds or something like that. Not amazing. I agree. Some of you guys are probably better than me. I was pretty good though, especially for a school with like 250 kids in my grade, and I went to conference for cross country and got like 8th place out of like all the schools in our section. So I did pretty good. Again, not amazing, but I did pretty good. I also, over time, I became a lot better sprinter. When I was in 8th grade and stuff, I was really short, and I was kind of lanky as well, so that made me not really short. As I kind of got a little bit older, I got more, I guess, strong and um, athletic, I suppose, and a lot better sprinter. Actually, surprisingly, people are kind of amazed. I look kind of like a little lanky kid, I'm like, and then they look at my muscles and they're like, "Holy crap, Chris, you're jacked." And I'm like, yeah, maybe a little bit. Not really jacked, but I'm reasonably muscular, and it's kind of hidden, I suppose. And then I never really played any high school sports. I didn't play any high school sports because I started work when I was 15. I paid for pretty much everything, my car, my insurance, my gas, my almost everything besides like food and living places. It's pretty much everything, and my phone and all that stuff. Paid for that, so I couldn't really do high school sports, even though it probably would have helped me out to do some of those and maybe get some a college scholarship or something like that if I was good enough. I think I could have been, though I'm not really sure. Um, I love playing football with my friends, basketball with my friends, tennis with my friends. I don't like as much playing on teams with those things just because I feel like I'm not in the action all the time. I love to be in the action. I love to be doing things. Basketball with my friends, an hour straight of basketball. But when you're playing on a team, it's like 32 minutes of actual gameplay, 8-minute quarters, and then by the time you get through all those things, it's like you only get to play half the game because there's 10 people on your team, so you're only playing for like 16 minutes of basketball. That's why I try and stay away from like team games like that. I just want to play with my friends, just get in the action, play all the time, stay busy for a really long time. That's the way I like to roll. But again, I like pretty much everything. There's not really any sports that I'm bad at, except for probably the sports I'm the worst at are the sports that you can play with a cigar in your mouth. Golf, bowling, things like that, where you could do just fine with a cigar or cigarette in your mouth or while you're drinking beer. I think that's usually my definition of a sport. Um, is if some people are gonna hate me for this. I know it takes a lot of skill for certain things like bowling and golf. You can be very very good and stuff, but for the most part, I feel like all right. I won't even say it. I won't even say it's not a sport, but maybe less of a sport than the other ones. Maybe just a little bit. All right. Okay, so let's move on. Just about to the last little questions here. Music. Yeah, what kind of music do you like? I like some pretty weird music. I like 80s rock, which is kind of surprising. Not really too many kids my age like 80s rock. I know it's very specific too. It's like 80s rock, not just like rock. Like yeah, I don't know why. I like hair metal. Not really hair metal, like hair rock. Def Leppard and Van Halen. Things like that. I'm not really like really big into music. It's just I do like music. I tend to listen to those things, and also I listen to techno. More specifically, I really can't tell you the exact name of techno because it's just like there's so many different crazy types of techno that just gets ridiculous. I wouldn't consider myself a dubstep fan, but I don't hate dubstep. Whereas I like the more soft core trance technos. Hopefully that doesn't make me sound gay or anything like that, but that's what I like. I like the softer stuff. I don't like the hardcore oomps, oomps, oomps. I don't like that stuff. It's just, I like the doo 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 awesome sounding things like that. And also, if you haven't paid any attention to any of the music in my videos, I like most of that stuff, if that makes sense. And then also epic music, believe it or not. It seems kind of weird. I know I use epic music in things like my random odd series and stuff. I actually like to listen to that music just like by itself. It just makes my life feel much more epic, especially when I'm in my car. Oh my goodness gracious, it's awesome just driving down with epic music. You're just like, oh my god, are we gonna make it in time? Can we possibly survive the epic rush? What's coming from behind us? Is there a giant monster or something? I mean, maybe you shouldn't go too crazy with it and get into some accidents or anything, but it's just kind of fun to think about. Just make. Also, what I like to do with epic music is I really like to make up stories in my mind. Creativity is key, guys. So you guys should be creative as well. And one thing that, like I said, I almost always do with epic music is I just kind of like close my eyes and I'll just kind of, I don't even have to close my eyes. I can just imagine some sort of scene happening. Sometimes it sounds like a medieval place. Sometimes it seems like I'm just looking at a giant grass field with like a giant army over here, giant army over there, and they're like running in towards each other. Sometimes I just imagine bug battles. Like two bugs just going at it, like a tarantula and a spider or something. Or not a tarantula and a spider, a tarantula and a wasp or something like that. Giant wasp. What do you guys think would win? Wasps. Wasps over spiders. Totally. Yeah, you'd be surprised. And that's about it. Actually, no, what? One more. One more. School. What's up with your school, Chris? Are you stupid? Do you just sit there and do nothing all the time? I usually talk about sciencey things in some of my videos. I used to talk about it a lot. I tried a science series. I also tried to make my own science channel, which didn't work out that well, I must say. It didn't work out fantastic at all, but I might be trying to start it up again eventually if I get some time. Not really sure how I want to do that, but not copy ASAP Science, but do something similar to them. It seems like I could do something just like that and just put my own little spin on it and make it interesting for you guys. Talk more about insects and things like that. I think there's not enough real insecty YouTube channels, at least in my opinion, or insecty animal channels. And so yeah, I went to school at Illinois State University in, of course, Illinois. Uh, Pretty decent school, not amazing by any means. Pretty decent. Got a normal degree in biology, bachelor's degree, and it's not like it hasn't helped me. Of course, if I really tried to look for a job, I could probably do it. But right now, with YouTube taking up a lot of my time and my garden center job taking up a lot of my time, I really just haven't started looking. And also, I really don't know where I want to go with my life right now. That's like the main reason why I haven't started looking for a job. I don't know if I want to go back to school or just to try and look for a full-time job that I don't have for the rest of my life, or like where I want to go with that. So that's why I've kind of just been like chilling with where I'm at. It's usually what I tell people when I tell people that they just don't understand. They're like, "Do you really want to work at a garden center for the rest of your life?" And I'm like, no, I don't. But it's not like the end of the world while I'm working there. It's pretty decent to work there. It's not that bad. I get to be outside all day. I get to do workouty things all the time. I'm lifting heavy things. I'm always moving. I'm always doing different things all the time. Planting plants is always fun. Learning new things about all the plants is always fun. That's something that a lot of people probably don't know about is a lot of plant things. Where me personally, I could just walk into a garden center and just be like, yeah, I'm going to take this, and this. I'm going to plant it myself all at my house, save thousands of dollars so I don't have to pay a bunch of people to plant them for me, do it all myself. So anyways, this is a pretty long Q&A. I know that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it just a little bit. I know it was more of a chillax thing. I wasn't really all excited and having fun all over the place. And, yeah. Yeah, more chillax. I like chillax things every once in a while. Can't always be the most exciting person in the entire world. Also, by the way, this microphone right here, believe it or not, I bought, Amanda bought me an X12 Turtle Beach gaming headset. Right, yeah, like that, alright? And anyways, I tried it out, and I think we're going to try and send it back, just because it does not work very well at all. Basically, It is the most quiet microphone in the entire world. Whereas this microphone right here, this thing cost me 20 bucks and it works frickin' fantastic. It's worked for probably like 8 months or so far. So I mean, not stupendous yet, but 8 months, no problems whatsoever. Always has worked for me. Um, it's not the most comfortable thing ever, but neither are those things. They're decently comfortable, but these things aren't that bad either. And I can't believe it, 20 bucks and you have like a ridiculously awesome microphone. You really just can't beat it for that. That thing, not only does the microphone sound worse than this guy, it actually was like 8, 10 times quieter. And then when I tried to raise the sound level, it would just cause this staticky, mumbly sound that just was awful, and I hated it. So I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to use it. So that's why I decided I think I'm going to send it back as long as they're still going to take it. So I already opened up and looked and did things with it for like a couple weeks, but it just doesn't work my way. Doesn't work my way. So, anyways, as always, all suggestions, questions, all that stuff, very much appreciated. I will try my best to answer some of your extra questions. And also, I would really appreciate it if you guys put more questions down there that maybe I could do in a future Q&A. I can put them out pretty much as fast as you guys want me to. It's much more chill. It's really easy. I don't have to do any work. I just record, done, boom, boom. Talk for a little while, and just have some fun along the way. All right, I've overexerted myself. I probably should have ended this video about 2 minutes ago, and then I got on a little bit of a tangent. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a super duper delicious day.